Every year, millions of brand new cars roll off production lines across the world, but not all of them find a buyer. So what actually happens to the ones that don't? In this video, we're diving into the mystery behind what happens to all the unsold cars. The truth is wild. It's a world of secret storage lots, silent auctions, and surprising outcomes you'd never expect. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon, because what you're about to discover might change the way you look at car lots forever. The myth of the car graveyards. Alright, so let's start with something you've probably seen floating around online. Those eerie drone shots of giant parking lots packed with cars as far as the eye can see. You've seen them, right? Thousands of brand new cars just sitting there. No buyers, no movement, just baking under the sun. And naturally, it sparks the question, what the heck is going on here? Now, the myth that floats around is that these are abandoned or unwanted cars that manufacturers just dump because they didn't sell. Sounds wild and honestly a little apocalyptic. But it's not the full story. See, many of those cars you see in aerial shots, they're not abandoned. Not yet, anyway. They're usually part of a temporary storage solution called a vehicle holding area. It's basically a waiting room for unsold inventory. Automakers build vehicles in bulk to meet anticipated demand, but if that demand drops due to an economic slowdown, a new model release, or even global supply chain issues, you get excess. The thing is, once the car's built, they can't just unbuild it, right? So it's got to go somewhere. Now here's the kicker. Those car graveyards are sometimes full of totally fine, brand new vehicles. They're just not selling. And because of dealership contracts, some of them can't even be discounted too heavily or offloaded immediately. So yeah, those haunting images you see, they're real. But it's a little more complicated than nobody wants these cars. Why can't they just sell them cheaper? Okay, this one always gets people heated. If these cars are just sitting there, you ask, why not just slash the price and sell them off? And yeah, that would make sense. But the auto industry doesn't always operate on common sense. See, if manufacturers were to suddenly drop prices just to move inventory, it would create chaos in the market. Dealerships who already bought cars at full price, they'd be furious. Customers who paid more than a month ago? Same thing. It tanks resale values, damages the brand's premium feel, and hurts dealers, who, by the way, are the ones who actually own most of the new cars on lots. Yep, here's something not everyone realizes. Once a car is shipped to a dealership, it's technically not the automaker's car anymore. The dealer takes ownership and becomes responsible for selling it. So if Ford or Toyota were to undercut their own dealers by offering crazy discounts online or elsewhere, it would be like setting fire to their own retail network. Plus, automakers have to protect the perceived value of their brand. If a new $40,000 car is suddenly available for $28,000 just because it's been sitting around, it makes people wait for fire sales instead of buying new releases. Not good for business. So yeah, those unsold cars? They're stuck in a weird limbo. Too valuable to scrap, too risky to sell cheap. Which leads us to a slightly darker truth. The fate of truly unsellable cars. Alright, now here's where it gets a little depressing, because not every car ends up finding a home. Some just don't make it. If a car sits too long, especially outside in harsh weather, it starts to degrade. Paint fades, tyres warp, batteries die. Eventually, it's not cost-effective to restore it to new condition. And at that point, you'd be surprised at how often it's just written off. Some manufacturers quietly send unsold, aging stock to be dismantled for parts or recycled. Yep, brand new cars, never driven, straight to the shredder. I mean, can you imagine? Cars that most people would love to own scrapped like expired yogurt. But it happens. Sometimes it's about meeting emissions compliance deadlines. A car built under last year's emissions rules might not be legal to sell after a certain date. Boom, can't register it anymore. Into the crusher it goes. And if you're wondering, why not donate them? Well, liability is one reason. If the car ends up in an accident or causes a problem down the road, the automaker could get dragged into a legal mess. Plus, donations can hurt the resale market too. Flooding communities with free or cheap vehicles drives down prices. So yeah, while most unsold cars do eventually get sold, refurbished or exported, some sadly end up destroyed. And it's kind of heartbreaking when you think about it. But also, it's a glimpse into how complex and cutthroat this industry really is. Where do these cars actually end up? Alright, so here's the part that really starts to surprise people, because even if a car isn't selling in its home market, that doesn't mean it's doomed. In fact, many of these so-called unsold cars, they quietly pack their bags and head off to a new life overseas. Exporting is one of the auto industry's favourite tricks for clearing backlog without killing prices at home. Got a parking lot full of sedans that Americans don't want anymore? No worries, ship them to Eastern Europe, the Middle East or parts of Africa and Southeast Asia where demand is still solid. And here's the kicker. In those markets, buyers are often thrilled to get near new cars with low mileage at a discount. Sometimes the cars are even rebranded or rebadged to suit the local market better. Like that leftover Chevy might turn into a Daewoo or a Wuling depending on where it lands. It's kind of like witness protection, but for vehicles. There are also auction houses, wholesale liquidators and government fleet buyers who specialise in scooping up excess stock. The general public rarely sees these transactions happen, but trust me, it's a massive behind-the-scenes economy. We're talking thousands of vehicles moved in bulk in deals worth millions. Also, dealerships can clear space for newer models. So while some unsold cars do get scrapped, others get shipped, repurposed or quietly sold under the radar. It's a whole hidden world that most people never even hear about. Until now. Are car makers making too many cars? So this raises a bigger question. If so many cars go unsold, why keep cranking them out in the first place? Like, why not just slow down production? Well, here's the thing. Car manufacturing isn't exactly flexible. Once a factory is up and running, it's like a freight train. Shutting it down, even temporarily, can cost millions. Workers have contracts, suppliers are expecting orders, robots and machines are programmed for specific outputs. So for automakers, it's often cheaper to overproduce than to stop the line. And there's also the investor side of things. Wall Street doesn't love it when car companies admit they're making fewer cars. Lower output equals lower revenue, even if profits are technically more stable. So companies keep building inventory, hoping demand will catch up or that export markets will absorb the excess. It's a gamble. Sometimes it works, other times they get stuck with fields full of shiny, unsold metal. Now, with the rise of electric vehicles and better data forecasting tools, manufacturers are trying to get smarter about this. You're seeing more build-to-order systems, smaller lots, and even virtual showrooms that don't require massive on-site inventory. But we're not there yet, and the pandemic threw a massive wrench into the system, creating shortages one year and oversupply the next. So yeah, in many ways, the industry is making too many cars. But the economics of car production are so messy, it's not always easy to stop. So what happens to all the unsold cars? Well, some wait, some get shipped, a few meet the shredder, and most of us never see any of it happen. But now you know, behind those glossy dealership lots and polished commercials, there's a whole hidden world of excess, logistics, and last-minute moves. If you found this peek behind the curtain interesting, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you never miss more eye-opening videos just like this. We've got plenty more wild stories from the automotive world coming your way. Catch you in the next one.